I think it's fair to say that we're all familiar with this sound. Or perhaps this one. Maybe even this one. Achievements and trophies are a well-established component of video games. Performing a cool action, beating a high score, or simply finishing a narrative game, we've come to expect that our success is met with the all-familiar audio clues and triumphant yet subtle overlays spelling out our accomplishment. Achievements have become a pivotal part of how we play and enjoy games, but what exactly drives us to chase these virtual trophies? And what psychological impact do they have? In this video, we'll explore the history and psychology of achievements in video games. My name is Chris, and this is Gamers Delight. To understand the evolution of achievements, we need to go back to the early days of gaming. Let's start in the noisy arcades of the 1970s and 80s, where the idea of achievements first began. Games like Space Invaders and Asteroids didn't just challenge players to beat the game, they invited them to beat each other by setting the highest scores, thus creating a competitive and social aspect within the gaming community. Those who ran the early arcades realized that adding a high score list next to the machines increased competition, which translated to more time played and thus more money earned. This idea caught on very quickly in the 1970s, with more and more publishers adapting this concept directly into the games themselves. Games like Space Invaders Part 2 introduced a system that allowed players to save their names as initials to show off their achievements to others. The situation at home, however, was a little different. While home game consoles were becoming more and more popular, they certainly lacked the competitive edge that arcades had been building up. Nevertheless, the concept of rewarding players for achieving milestones slowly made its way into those games as well. As early as 1980, Activision games on the Atari 2600 came with manuals promising physical patches for players who surpassed specific scores and mailed in a photo as proof. End the level in less than 33.3 seconds or reach a particular high score, and you could soon see yourself display your gaming achievements to all your friends. Today, these patches have become highly valued collectibles. They added a new layer of incentive and prestige and demonstrated the potential of the local rewarding system, even though they lacked that feeling of instant feedback. The first major shift came in 1996, when Microsoft launched the MSN Gaming Zone, enabling players to earn and share badges for accomplishments in casual, browser-based games like chess and Connect 3. However, it wasn't until 2005 that achievement systems made a big leap. Enter the Xbox 360. With their new console, Microsoft launched an improved version of their online service Xbox Live. Although it has been presumed that the achievement system was not at first conceptualized as the vital part it would later turn out to be, given that it was only briefly mentioned when presenting the new gamer card, the reception of the new system was recognized to provide unexpected player retention features. Microsoft's platform-wide multi-game achievement system culminated in the introduction of Gamerscore. Unlike previous video game achievements, which were stranded on their own separate island for each game, Gamerscore introduced a common currency with up to 1000 G available for each Xbox game to split across multiple achievements. This was brilliant because it tapped into the player's sense of progress and provided bragging rights across the Xbox Live network. It was no longer about just being the best at one game. You could now strive to become the best across all of Xbox Live. It was up to the publishers to figure out how to put the achievement system into practice in their games. Microsoft only dictated that every full release had to come with 1000 Gamerscore of achievements, while smaller releases could get away with 200 Gamerscore. Not wanting to be left behind, other platforms tried to follow suit. First, Valve introduced a similar multi-game achievement system for its platform Steam in 2007. 1 year later, Sony added their achievement system into the PlayStation 3 gaming console with a system software update. Today, achievements are a fundamental part of gaming culture, as video games without achievement systems are quickly deemed an incomplete experience. Many developers now use achievements to guide players through the game, encouraging exploration and experimentation. In theory, they can hint at innovative, fun ways to play the game and function as markers of progress. However, not all aspects of achievements are celebrated. There's criticism about them encouraging addictive behaviors or diminishing the immersive experience by making games feel more like a checklist of tasks. Not few players obsessively collect achievements, spending upwards of 70 hours per week gaming to increase their digital footprint on games. While most players can collect achievements in a reasonably healthy manner, there are also many who are caught in a self-reinforcing feedback loop in which they pursue unhealthy obsessions with achievements. Some players confess that they had become so fixated on playing as many games for as long as possible to collect achievements that they were no longer sure whether they were having fun. So, why do we even chase these virtual badges of honor? The answer lies in psychology. Achievements tap into several key psychological principles. First and foremost, achievements make you feel good. You do something cool, you hear the sound, and there it is, the confirmation that you did well. Completing an achievement triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This creates a positive reinforcement loop, encouraging players to seek out more achievements. Maybe even more importantly, there is the notion of social comparison and competition. Achievements drive players to achieve more, to outdo their friends or the wider gaming community. This leads to a sense of affirmation given by the fictional status that the player has created for himself and the expectation that others will look with admiration to someone who's undertaking the actions stated in the achievement. The Gamerscore is a synthetic mean for quantifying a player's skill. While the obtained badges can represent the specific game mechanics that a player has also been able to master, the numerical score is an immediate and recognizable indication of the gamer's experience. Moreover, many players are driven by a desire for completionism, a need to collect and finish everything the game has to offer. Achievements cater to this by offering a clear path to 100% completion. Consequently, it's common for game developers and publishers to extend the perceived length of their games by adding extra tasks and quests. With games being scrutinized for their steep prices of $70 or more, developers don't hesitate to include additional content to boost potential playtime. If one views every hour of gameplay as equally valuable, then a game offering 80 hours of gameplay appears to be twice as good as one with 40 hours. While this is a clear oversimplification that overlooks the importance of quality and diversity, gamers continue to judge and evaluate games based on their length and perceived value. Achievements in video games have come a long way from the high scores of the arcade era. They are powerful tools that tap into our psychology, driving us to complete challenges, compete with others, and explore every corner of our virtual worlds. While they can sometimes lead to negative behaviors, when designed thoughtfully, achievements can enhance our gaming experiences and provide a sense of accomplishment and joy.